it on the initial hunt a little bit longer. And Loki just gets the chance of generating some myth units early on if they do take early engagements. Get an extra troll or Valkyrie. Or Unerger. Actually, I think it might just be... Is it all three? Is it just troll or Unerger in Age 2? Either way. Norse in particular probably relishes in trying to play a bit more aggressive and deny the opponent the chance to ever secure the third TC. Or Atlantean. A bit like Egyptian in the sense that they'd like things to ultimately pan out to a longer game, I think. Greek's probably really flexible in either regard. Where other than into Norse, you're probably going to be playing on the front foot, I think. Or trading blows fairly evenly with your opponent. Yeah, on these smaller maps, Norse can really opt to play a lot more aggressively, particularly if they do want to try and deny things going late, going really turtly, having to try and play around Rams. Do they even get Ballista in Titans? I think they did get it in Titans that wasn't in the base game, from memory. I mainly play EE, so my memory of the Titans tech tree at times does fail me. So, Hells going for that age up. Taking hunting dogs, make his hunting even faster, because I think Odin already gets a little slight hunting boost as it is, even over the other Norse openings. So I mean, if you can sit on this great hunt to start with, it's perfect, because it really means you can get one of the best early food ecos going. Grass aging up now as well. I mean, finishing off the temple to age up now as well. And the Atlanteans always going to be trailing in village account roughly 3-1, but the settlers, I mean the citizens do take up 3 pop, are about twice as expensive. And they do gather about 3 times as fast. But I think in the late game, Addy's actually one of the civs that has the worst farm economies. Like, I think Egyptians is cited the best, particularly because of empowerment, while Greek and Norse, I think before empowerment, is actually sort of just as fast as Egyptian. While Atlantean, their farms are actually more expensive, but they've got the slowest farm gather rate with their citizens, relatively, because it's not 3 times as fast like all the other gather rates. I think it's only like 1.5 times or something. So Atlantean tends to really struggle playing around a farm eco late. They really can. Probably want to try and play really caravan heavy. And I mean Norse sort of, because you've got ox carts rather than granaries, you're probably next most likely to actually play heavy around early caravans, but at the same time, if you're gonna go for Ragnarok, then it's always a good idea to have a good worker count. It's a bit of harass here from Hells. He's managed to catch out the citizen of Grass, so this is a big blow early on here. He's trying to gather from that hunt already, which is a bit risky. Probably could have just sat on the chickens, been in town center range here. I mean, you want to avoid going on the berries or the herds until later on. If you know, on a non-water map, you want to try and delay going on the herd as long as possible, because it's a bit slower than the hunt. And I mean, a lot of people don't even really get the increased herd fattening and gather rate. But yeah, already a nice little kill there for Hell. Getting a citizen equivalent to getting, you know, 2.5 to 3 villages at this stage of the game.
Tilbúin skipan.
So a big blow. Trying to gather out here. Oh, but Valkyrie gonna get blocked off by the quick built barracks, but The use of the forest fire. Gonna force the villager away because she won't want to stand there and get burnt. Grass. Scout and harass. Hills here, but not being overly successful. Now the Atlantean army is really starting to get going, but Odin player, Lone Wanderer, is going to really speed up the elves so they can. Once there's a few more elves and Herseus, the pair of them can sort of be split up. Just run as individual packs. Herseus try and take fights or bait fights against the Addy army while the elves harass. So I think Grass will be a bit wary about that now, particularly because he has lost that early citizen. And it's sort of let Hells go up to a pretty greedy, scary 3 barracks push here. At the same time, Grass is making no commitment to the second town centre just yet. So he's fielded an awful lot of units, got a nice mix of Mamilo, Terma. So Terma, not a lot of health on them. Not wanting to get in range of the elves, but same time with that little shield wall of the Mamilo. Pretty safe against the melee army. There's no real way for them to, the elves to intercept along with the hearse here. Slightly more mobile army here from Grass, but he's going to want to try and deal a bit of damage without overextending and losing anything. Now, Ulf's upgraded, so Helps is going to try and force a fight here, particularly if you can get on top of the Terma. Be terminal here. It's another player going up in town centre count. Still gonna take fights. Oh, the scout does get picked off. I was gonna say Hells was gonna walk straight past it, but just a slight overstep with his surround. Not all the Norse army is here because Hells is going to try and go for an Ulf run by, so the stacked up Atlantean army might be able to get a couple of kills. Just do some nice harass there with the Tomer as well, because bearing in mind Hells going forest fire, no access to early healing for him. If we go... Oh yeah, Odin's the one Norse major god that doesn't get access to the healing spring, so Norse army in this case probably a bit more susceptible to harass, hit and run than it otherwise might be. Grass not wanting to overstay, doesn't want to lose anything. Bearing in mind he is fighting slightly down on eco than he otherwise should be here, having lost early citizen, so Hells has now lost a number of units. Trying to take an engagement. There's some Prometheans in the front line as well. That's Hero Mamilo. While the back line of Hells is starting to get some throwing axemen so he can actually cut through the front line a little bit quicker. Add a bit of range damage, a bit of anti-infantry damage. Rather than it just being spearman unit versus spearman unit. Nice shockwave there for Grass, with most of Hell's army being stunned, but now the hell of an engagement with those. That plays around 100 pop for Grass, is dipping below 100 now, slightly quicker. I think Hells is going to come out of this a little bit better off, in fact, quite a bit better off. Hells 100 pop to Grass is 70 at the moment. So rough opening here for Grassengroom. Not going well with the harass, not going well with that first massive engagement, but he's going to switch to Kyro Ballista. So these guys are going to be nice. Siege damage, counter infantry, with siege units, so they're not really going to benefit. The Norse army's not really going to benefit from any sort of counter damage against them. You sort of just need to get some siege units and some cavalry units and hope you can kill them fast enough. Because even trying to trade ranged against these guys is a bit tough. Because anti-ranged like say Termers, Peltists, that sort of thing, they don't counter these guys like they do each other. So, I mean, Norse doesn't really even get a unit like that. Raiders, in their case, are probably one of the least affected units by these guys being siege. Hell's gonna take out a mana, but at the same time, Grass trying to force him to keep a bit of the army at bay. Another player going up to 2 TC yet, and Kyro Ballista gonna make this a tough engagement because Hells can't really afford to fight the Momila, having to be a bit careful, try and split up his Ulfsarks to dodge some shots, but he still loses some. These guys, not a lot of damage per shot, but splash damage, and they do get a counter damage bonus versus infantry, I believe. The Hells, small lead here, going to go for another longhouse just to make sure he can resupply his army up here. He's up to 115 pop. Grass is maxed out now again as well. So Hells might have been slightly too late and get. Oh no, he's going to finish it. Only losing the one off. So Hells is going to go for it actually. He's just splitting his army up to take a nice multi-pronged fight. He's Ulfs streaming in from all sides as Grass. So in the stage here, he's going to try to pull back out, but the Kyro Ballista are going to get stuck at the back of the army, so Grass is going to have to try and flick his army forward, try and surround and defend them, but he's then going to go down quite quickly, and oops, Grass 100 pop here. Hells just above it at the moment, even using the Gatherers in the fight to try and focus down the Kyro Ballista, because I believe these guys do get a bonus against siege. So villagers are actually one of the stronger units against siege. I think Kyro Ballista might inadvertently get affected by that, given that they are the siege tag rather than the range tag, as I mentioned. Wolves. We're extending here, trying to go for Kyro Ballista, going to get picked off. More Grass. Let's see if we can delay a bit of gathering, maybe get a villager there, but not really all that successful. Hell's trying to harass down one of the walls here, but also potentially able to push Grass off this gold. He needs to take out the mana though, and not sure if he needs to bring these guys here to help force his army back, or if getting this wall's be worth it here for him. So Grass, not sure if he's going to be able to save the citizens, but nice micro there. He's going to just evacuate them. I think he was considering baiting Hells into a fight before those soldiers got through, but now he's just sort of going to back out and see if he can take a nice fight here with Hells, trying to take out the mana. Grass, we need to get a little bit of gold to actually replace the mana here. Because at the moment, looks like Hells is denying all these golds. These gold mines are a bit of a tough spawn here for our players, although Hells is pretty safe playing this aggressively here. He secured that one up the front for himself, and Grass is actually going to struggle to get on gold here. He managed to sneak Gold gatherers down there. So now he can get that mana up, but he's falling under 100 pop. He's going to need to throw up the mana and try and add some units here. With fairly minimal gold, bringing in citizens to come and fight and tank some damage as well. This might be a bit of a last-ditch effort here in this game, number 1. Because Hells is just going for it at this stage. He's got control of basically all the gold mines on the map, and there is only this one over here that Grass is on. Probably bamboozling Hells as to where Grass is getting the resources from, but he's going to snipe a citizen here. Oh, that's big. And if he hits this one here, that's also pretty big, because that's effectively 6 vills going down. Oh, that one will be right, but Raiding Cav will be able to piss off some more of them. So Grass still getting away with the gathering here, and it's really very timely for him at the moment, because without that gold income right now he'd be buggered, but now he's really struggling for food. And his citizen count is a little low at this point. He's going to lose another one there, and Hell's going to force him to have to take another engagement. This time, fairly down on the army size. There's only the 2 Kyra Ballista and a handful of melee here. Town Center's not under huge threat until this army gets taken out, though. But Hells is even camping one of these settlements. Grass is gonna... He's already taken that second settlement, so it'd be nice for his citizen production to try and catch up in that regard, but he's got to be very careful to not really lose anything here. Oh, and now the villagers at the gold gathering site have been spotted. Mana there to protect him, but army coming in hot. Well, there's no other gold source here for Grass. He can possibly get on this one over here, but imagine he'll get chased back to his base. At the moment, Hells is trying to buy himself a bit of time over here, because Grass not going to be able to get the Valkyrie, but massing up enough to try and defend this gold mine. In the meanwhile, to push back over here, he might actually lose a citizen here. So Grass securing that gold mine back at his base, but now this gold mine out towards Hell's side of the map has been locked down once again. We're locked down for the first time. So Grass again restricted to only 1 gold mine. He's managing to make this work though, because there's been a lot of pressure all game here from Hells. And again, more citizen kills. If Grass wasn't up by the TC at this stage, it would probably be over in terms of the economic damage that Hells has managed to inflict on him here, but Grass found a way. He's got a good number. Kyra Ballista here might be able to force back our north by force him to have to go to multiple TCs, and he's having to get to a farm eco here. Ooh, Hells is gonna try and go for the citizens once again. He's gonna pick off the low one, so good micro there here. But he's not sure which one to go for now. He's gonna back out rather than losing anything. So Grass is having to bring a lot of his army here to try and back this up. Those Valkyries both getting quite low, so Grass might be able to get some value out of shutting this down. He's now going to have to chase Norse cavalry all throughout his base. What a pain. We need to get some guys over here just to try and stop these cav from getting out. Meanwhile, Grass is going to try and clean up this forward base here from Hells, but Hells does have more of his army. He's going to take that other... He's going to go for the forward second town centre before he goes for the rear one. Military barracks actually denying this cavalry from getting any further here. So nice catch here from Grass. What a nice job. But he's a little bit unsuccessful in getting the Eco Guild down. Ooh, he doesn't manage to micro the Citizen into the mana either, so bit of a blow there. Like he tried well. He managed to wall off the raiding party there, but he probably should have thrown that down faster and then just garrisoned the villain either TC or mana a little bit quicker, because it didn't end up going off. He loses the Citizen. But he is going to clean up this expansion here from Hells. Well, Hells remaking the barracks is back at home. Well, back at this other forward town centre, because he can use this really as a chance to try and push and grab this other town centre. Nice raid here from Grass, so Hells is now finding he's having to fight while in an uncomfortable economic position. Just deleting the walls there so he can back out. A lot of Cairo Ballista in this comp here, and this little choke going to be difficult for the Raiders to actually engage on anything. And the Hells forced to have to try and get on another gold mine. And Grass, I think, should be aware of that, because the mana's going to give him the line of sight. Yeah, so he's going to see a miner. Know where his opponent's looking to gather gold now that he's harassing. So Grass may have gotten himself back into the game at the moment. He's going to go to Heroic Age while Hell's still in Classical. Has got the second town centre now though, so he's not having to fight uphill in terms of the max pop capacity. And a lot of gatherers here potentially under a bit of threat. Only a couple of units, so now Heroic Age coming in. The Hell's a little bit slower than Grass's, but I don't think it's a huge drama, bearing in mind he has had a lot go his way here early on with the aggression. But he's managed to get a few vill kills. He had the second town centre here, so he's managing to defend his way back into the game. He's not too far behind, I don't think. Doing a great job of it. And now he's got line of sight here. He might be able to bring these Mamilo back. Like these Strong Axemen. Ooh, they're going to go for the wall off first. No, they're going to take the fight. Grass. Ooh, he's found a lot of low dwarves here. He's going to get... There's another two low ones. Yeah, he's going to get two of them straight away. Another low health villager going to get a third dwarf with the one Mamilo. That's been a nice catch for Grass, and once again he's now locking down his opponent's gold mines. Looking to go on that forward town centre, get his third town centre going, while Hell's working front to back. He's got that third town centre at the rear of his base now. Neither player's really committed to any walls, but there is quite a few chokes here. That's going to make it difficult for the Norse player to get that nice surround to bring down the Cairo Ballista. So Hells, I think, is slightly up as the score tells, but saying that, Grass is in a really dangerous position now. His third TC. What's happening? Is it on the way? Ah, yeah, that's building. It's just slow. I was going to say, it didn't look like that was going forward at all. Grass is squeezed in Mythic now. So he's going to be able to go for Tartar and Gate back at home here. Back in the home base of Hells, so it's more rough. The Hells, he was in a nice position from the get-go. A lot of value out of his early raids, but well, this is a nice frost for him. He should be able to clean up a few of these units here. He's got enough here that he will be able to bring down a couple of them in that time, and it should save the town centre. He can probably even just put a single Elf Sark just on it to repair back up to full health while it's in frost. And it makes it very difficult for his opponent to get it here, because he's going to take a few of Grass's units out here. Really only the Symphalian Bird and the one-lane Pades. isn't dead, but I wonder if you could try and... if he should try and delete the Lampades at the back of the fight, at the back of the base, because it'd potentially kill all those Ulfsucks, because when they die, they do explode. Ooh, and this has been costly for Hells back at home, I think. There's a few villages that have fallen here in Grass. Still close to maxed out here. A lot of the houses have been cleaned up in Hells' base while he's been focusing on fighting the armory. I wonder if he was better off trying to take out the gate as quickly as possible and clean up all these guys, because he's still not killed enough of the army to actually take the fight here. So, Lampades and Cephalian bird alone, I think. Hells had lost enough there that he'd really made it worth it, because he'd lost an awful lot of villagers back here, and he's only up to 208 pop here with his Ragnarok, which isn't that extreme, because Grass is on nice 140 pop. If he defends this, I think he comes out well ahead here, because Hell's only on 2 TC. It's going to take him forever and a day to produce. Hasn't got much of a caravan eco at all either. Grass is going to be careful to defend these town centers. There's been a strange set of events here, and the gate finally getting picked off, but there's been a lot of houses destroyed. Quite a number of villagers get killed there too, I think. Bearing in mind, Hells is still up by about 40 pop. I mean, the worst case scenario is when your opponent does it and he ends up at like 370 pop to your 160, but even still fighting 200 versus 140 isn't the easiest of battles.
Yo!
Just bearing in mind, yeah, Grass's villagers going to be forced off gold. It's going to be difficult for him to gather gold here unless he's got a little market line set up, and I don't think he actually has any caravans pumping. Hells. There's no eco going on back at home for him just yet. Grass going to lose the palace here. Doesn't have enough in the way of Mamilo to defend through this. Should he switch to maybe adding a handful of Arcus? Looks like Hells is going to get the forward town centre. Which means both our players back to 2, and without a mythic power. Grass is going to struggle for gold, but I think Hells is really going to struggle for wood. And considering he's only down to 4 eco pop at the moment, it's going to be tough for him to get going. He hasn't got any caravans running just yet, but he's going to go for the forward town centre. Steal it from Grass, make it difficult, because Grass now has to get all the way over here and grab this town centre to equalise population. We've got the Arcus ball coming out now, so this is going to make it difficult for the Norse army to engage, because most of Hell's pop is locked up in infantry. Hasn't got anything in the way of raiders at the moment, but fire giants notoriously good against non-champion Arcus. I mean, against non-hero Arcus. And then getting hero Arcus is probably nowhere near as good as getting hero Mamilo or hero Contarius, I think, to actually bring down... Yeah, I think hero Contarius are probably the unit that fight best into the fire giants, from memory, I think. Either that or the... what are they called? Who's he on? Aranos? Aranos. What are they called? Not the Fanatics. Yeah. Catapeltes. So I think these guys, Mamilo and Contarius, are probably your way to go with trying to bring down a switch to a heavy fire giant comp, but the Arcus you still need against the Norse infantry to sort of dissuade them from just massing up axemen with a few All-Starks. Rough here for Grass. He's going to lose Villager. There's no nearby mana. And these guys, he's going to have to garrison them up and use them to repair through this. Ooh, and that splash. The Fire Giants. Lampades has a nice amount of damage per shot, but I don't think she's so good against the heroes like she is against other units. Although in saying that, her Chaos ability did turn one of the Fire Giants Chaos. So, Norse player having to finish him off there. But Hell's snatching a third town center, starting the wall pretty aggressively, and he's in the position to take a fourth TC. And really force Grass to have to go ultra late game while down on population to try and win. Bearing in mind, Hell's Eco is really only just recovering. He's up to not even 20 Vil Pop yet. Bearing in mind, Grass's 18 villages is effectively triple that. The Grass doesn't want to lose that Lampades. Just wants to try and Chaos the Fire Giant if he can. Because yeah, they are pretty expensive. In theory, they can be a pretty cost-effective unit bomb where you just delete them up against like 6 villages or more, but sort of anything less than that, it's not so great. And you've sort of just got to use them like a bait myth unit and potential strong ranged harasser. And yeah, the god power, I mean the myth power, sending things berserk, sending it chaos, so it'll be attacking everyone. Really quite useful. Some good damage here. So, Grass being careful not to lose her. So he uses the chaos there, but it's not of any great effect, I don't think. I think the 4 villagers can just fight the single hero, but there is multiple on the way. Ooh, and one of them is a little bit too low to fight. So Grass ultimately going to have to retreat there. You might have just enough to take out Hell's settlement. Oh, maybe not quite. Units popping back out. So these citizens are going to go down. These guys are going to be able to come back and back this up. Maybe repair the town center while these guys keep the pressure up. So Grass struggling again, bit on the back foot. It's really been Hell's way to start with. And Grass, I think, was in a great spot with that Tartaran gate, but now I think it's really swung back to Hell's favour slightly. But saying that, Grass's eco should be in a little bit better spot. Maybe not for much longer, because Hell's is now up to 30 to 44. Yes, Eco's fairly similar here. Grass really only one citizen up at this stage, and he's down on a town center, so that gap's potentially going to disappear here. A lot of Mamilo getting caught there. These rest of them are really low too. And I don't think with this Uranos build there's any form of healing. We just a quick gander here. Uranos. Healing. Ah yeah, if you go Oceanus there is healing with the Caladria. But beyond that I don't think there really is any healing for Uranos, so these guys not going to be of any great use unless they can make it here to try and help out the town center, or potentially just eat up a bit of time with all these guys while Grass takes the town center out. Grass can What's he doing? He really should. He should. Did he use that on both? He only had one. The one that had it done didn't really do it to any great effect. I mean, the one that had it done ended up dying, or the one that didn't cast it still having a run. Shame he didn't manage to cast it another fire giant. But even still, it's a bit of a pain for the Norse player now, because he is going to lose a fire giant. Another one out of this. Like, look at this. Bit of a melee going on. Another Lampedes falling, so expensive, but the fire giants are slightly more expensive. GG Grass having to tap out, because ultimately don't think he's able to gather any more gold through this with Hell's harassing off the gold mine over here. And those Lampedes not being in the fight, as much as they were able to snag a fire giant, they're an expensive investment, and Grass just doesn't have enough to defend. Hasn't really got a lot left in this harassing army either to try and snag any buildings, so GG well played, nice back and forth for game number 1 between our players.